WWE must avoid this Jey Uso mistake, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that mistake is and what they need to do instead. Because Jey Uso, he's in this weird pattern right now. Obviously, he is slated to meet Drew McIntyre January 6th, Monday Night Raw on Netflix debut in LA. It's going to be a big, big deal. It's going to be the most watched episode of Monday Night Raw in 2025, and perhaps one of the most watched episodes of Monday Night Raw in recent history. And the fact that Jey Uso is not only on the card, but also in a key big-time match against a big-time opponent, a former World Heavyweight Champion, well, that speaks volumes to where WWE views him on the card. And that's a good thing for all Jey Uso fans, including myself. Now, Jey Uso, he's had highs, he's had ups, he's had downs. But the fact of the matter is, Jey Uso remains one of the most over guys on WWE's roster right now. I mean, heck, look at this past week's Money episode of Raw where they had a long, long entrance for this man, and these fans just kept going nuts, and they were yeeting, and then they were doing the hand signature. I mean, this guy is over like Rover, and that is despite the fact that WWE has booked him in good spots and in bad spots, and as of recently, he has been in the forefront of Drew McIntyre's sights, his target, if you will, because Jey Uso, after winning the IC title and then dropping the IC title back to Braun Breaker, he obviously went into the feud with the New Bloodline, associating himself with Jimmy, Roman, and Sami Zayn. Now, coming out of Survivor Series War Games, well, he has been in the middle of the Sami Zayn-Drew McIntyre feud. Right now, obviously, Drew went over Sami Zayn on Saturday Night's Main Event, and now Jey Uso is slated to meet Drew McIntyre on Raw on Netflix. And that leads us to today's video, because I was thinking to myself, okay, I understand that they are rebuilding Drew McIntyre. Obviously, he had his long feud with CM Punk. He put over CM Punk to end the feud, right? And then he went over Sami to kind of get his win back. Jey Uso, on the other hand, he's coming off of the Survivor Series win, but he's kind of floating around. And obviously, it looks like they are leading into a longer program with Jey and Drew McIntyre. And this is the thing that I think WWE needs to hear. And I think Jey Uso fans will attest to this. You cannot have him job out to Drew McIntyre because Drew had already picked up his big win over Sami Zayn, right? I understand you're trying to build to Drew McIntyre, and he's going to be your top heel, but you also have to keep the momentum of Jey Uso. You can't just beat this guy like a drum, because when you are just kind of floating in the ether, right, if you're kind of just lost in the galaxy, which is what Jey Uso is right now, right, it doesn't make a lot of sense for him to go over Drew, or for Drew to go over him on Monday Night Raw. Now, this is what I'm stating. I think you should either have Jey Uso go over Drew on Netflix debut, and then that can lead to a rematch at, say, Saturday Night's Main Event, maybe the Royal Rumble, probably Saturday Night's Main Event. And then if you want, you can have Drew beating. Or you could have them go to a no contest, a double DQ, kind of squash finish, and then lead to a rematch. My whole point is this. Just don't have Drew beat him in the very first match, because I think that would be a mistake. Because you need to build up Drew even further. I get that, and I understand that's where they're going, right? They want to do Drew versus Gunther probably at WrestleMania, because, you know, Gunther's being a big-time babyface right now as world champion, or at least he's on his way of doing that, and Drew is their biggest heel right now on Monday Night Raw. So I understand that you want to build up Drew, and I get that, and there's nothing that's going to stop them, and I don't even disagree with it. But I also think you have to keep talent strong at the same time. And with Jey, you have to keep him strong, because you may not see him as a main event guy if you're Triple H or WWE, but you best believe that the fan base is still behind this guy. He's still one of your most over baby faces, not only on Monday Night Raw, not only in the company, but in, honestly, the entire pro wrestling industry right now. He also sells a ton of merch, so you have to keep him strong, right? There's always a balancing act with talent. I understand that not everyone can be a main eventer. I understand that not everyone can be a top-tier champion. And I also understand that not everyone can be champion at the same time. I get that. I've seen y'all's comments, but Jey Uso is a special guy. And when you have a special talent who has the connection in which he does with the fan base, who resonates with the fan base like Jey Uso does, you can't just go out there and beat him like a drum every single week or in every top tier program, right? You need to have him win matches on television and get, the upper hand on heels and in his programs. If you continuously get behind someone, if you consistently book them in a strong way, fans are going to resonate with that, and they're going to get behind a talent, and especially a babyface. And see, here's another thing that I think people don't understand, or at least give enough credit to. When you book a babyface, you have to have two things going. One, you have to always have them going in a positive direction, meaning them win matches and get upper hands and have strong showings. That does not mean that they have to win every match. That does not mean they have to win every feud. Okay, but you always have to keep going in the positive direction, right? A la Jey Uso losing to Braun Breaker for the IC title, but then he goes into the Bloodline War Games match and he gets a win, right? Like, that's positive direction. You have a setback, but you come back like a rubber band, if you will. And two, for a babyface, you have to keep the fans on your side. You have to have the fans continuously support you, and you have to have fans continuously believe in you and believe that you can win your next match or your next feud, or give them a reason why you should care about them, right? That's a much more difficult thing as a babyface, right? It's really more difficult to book a babyface than it is a heel. And with heels, while yes, you can beat them, and you can beat them over and over and over, they can always get their heat back, whether that is a post-match attack on their opponent, whether that's another attack at a later date, whether that's a heel promo, whether that's going into another feud and getting heat by attacking or doing something, devilish or evil, right? That's how they get their heat back. It's always consistent heat. With the babyface is different. And so that's why I say you cannot have Drew go out there and beat Jey just right off the bat. I think that would be a big mistake. Now, what WWE is going to do, what WWE wants to do, and this video could be just weird timing, and they just go out there and beat him. I'm just saying in advance, as a recording of this video, I hope they don't do that, because I think there's bigger things, not only for Jey, not only for Drew, but also these two guys together. Because, look, their match is going to be really, really good. Every time they work together, they put on good matches. They're top-tier talent. They know exactly what to do, from the movesets to the in-ring psychology, how to get the fans to react the way that they want to, how to carry them on a journey, carry them on the storyline, carry them on the path in which they are trying to get to, the final destination, if you want. That's what they're so good at, and they're going to do exactly that. So as long as they keep paving the way for Jey Uso, as long as they keep paving the way for Drew, these guys, once they end up doing their feud and all is said and done, which I think is going to be a lot of fun if they can extend it to at least another match, then these guys are going to be A-okay, and everybody wins. And that's all I'm saying here in today's